Well, you have those people that are out there missing. They're lying out there. And then you have those that are taken. And that's what this show's about. To be honest, we need to start caring. It's not about the money. It's not about the fame. It's not about who is who. Everybody matters out there. The missing are a huge diversity of people. They're young, they're old, they're mothers, they're fathers, they're children.
Welcome, my friends. Please push subscribe and like this moment so you don't forget. Also, hit that notification bell if you would like notifications whenever I have new uploads. So let's go ahead and get started. So we call this Talking News. I'm also chasing a murder, and I also go by Debbie. Hello guys, welcome to Talking News, and we're going to be going over the Casey Jones case, and this is because they just released some new information. This includes the interrogation tapes of Michael Jones and some of the photos that they took at the homicide scene, well, not the homicide scene, but the scene where Michael Jones was arrested in Georgia. It also has a few images of where they found the children. You know, Michael Jones actually led investigators to where he placed the children's remains. Now, Michael Jones' family consisted of Casey Jones, Mercalli, Ayanna, which was his biological daughters and toddlers, and then two other children, which was Preston and Cameron, which belonged to Richard Bowers. And this family disappeared in July, but really nobody realized that this family had disappeared until way later. In fact, it was like over a month later that they really realized that this entire family was missing. Michael Jones was the first suspect they come to when, the person of interest, when this family disappeared. If you're not familiar with this case, guys, because I'm not going to cover all the details of the beginning, you'll need to refer to my older videos for that. And police tried to contact him via text and as well tried to call him. Turns out Michael was staying with his ex-wife, Sarah Jones, who a lot of people suspect played a larger role in the disappearance of this family than it, realized. A lot of people felt that Michael Jones was trying to get back together with his ex Sarah Jones during this period. But according to Michael, she was dating a new boyfriend, so that wasn't it. Sarah Jones had recently moved from another state to Florida, and a lot of people felt she did that in order to be closer to Michael Jones. So she moved from Vermont to Jacksonville, Florida. And so this new move kind of prompted motive as to why Michael might have done this to his family. But Michael was saying the motive is not that. It's something completely different. For those of you that know this case, know that it turned out that Michael Jones beat his wife, Casey Jones, to death with a bat. And later on, which we'll discuss, he took the lives of the 4 children. He placed all of the remains into his van and carried them around for a long period of time, including during the time he stayed with his ex-wife, Sarah Jones, in Jacksonville, Florida. And according to Sarah Jones, we've heard some things where they say her kids actually rode in that van. And Sarah Jones had asked one of her children if, the van smelled funny. And she goes, Mommy, Daddy said there was some dead cats around the trailer. So he was kind of addressing the fact that the van did have a foul odor. When cops actually come up on the van, they said that they could smell that god-awful stench for 50 feet away. And a lot of people question why people that were close to him didn't notice it. And a lot of people were focusing on Sarah Jones. And according to Sarah Jones, she says that she didn't notice anything and that she had not rode in his van, which was actually Casey Jones' van. So, how Michael Jones was caught was after investigators tried to reach him and Sarah Jones by phone, and after the charade that they give to the investigators, he took off and crossed the line to another state, Georgia. And there he actually dropped off 4 of his children's remains in a wooded area and then got in a little fender bender on the side of the road when he said he called 911. But we heard witnesses at the beginning of this are the ones that called 911, but now we're hearing Michael Jones himself called 911. He actually told police when they arrived that they might want to put him in handcuffs because his wife's remains are in the van. At that point, Mike was very cooperative. He led police exactly to where he placed the children, and the police took pictures of all this that happened that day, and those photos are now released to the public. Later that night, he was also interrogated, and now those tapes are now released to the public as well, and we're going to go over some of that today. And like I always mention, guys, when we first get these cases, they're never ever 100% correct. We just cover what we can and then compare it to what we know later, and that's what we're going to do today. So first, let's go over the interrogation tapes. So grab your popcorn, grab your soda or your water or your juice, whatever you drink, and this is going to take a while.
In the living room, reached and grabbed after the bat, and kind of, hit me, broadside me or whatever.
So here Michael's talking about the time that Casey Jones come after him with a bat, and he's starting to explain what happened, but you'll notice in these interrogation tapes that they are blanking out of a lot of it, so we won't hear a lot of what they consider crucial evidence.
Where did they sleep at now? The boys have a bedroom, and then the 2 girls sleep in the living room area.
Okay. So when I've been to the house, I went to the house earlier today. When I walk in the front door, obviously you walk in and you're in the living room, right? And then there's a bedroom to the right, closest to the road.
Yes.
Is that the boys? That's the boys' room?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then the other room on the other end of the house is obviously y'all's, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And there was nothing left in the house as far as furniture or anything. Where was the chair at, situated in the house?
You first walk into the house, the recliner was right there and to the left.
Okay. Where'd that recliner go?
I left it there.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't take it.
Okay.
I didn't take much out of there.
Okay, so we're going through another blank spot here, so let's talk about this. So what they're referring to is the mobile home that they lived in Florida, and it's just a little mobile home park that they lived in, and it was very small, and they're referring to some of the stuff that he left in the mobile home, and also some of the stuff that wasn't there when they went through it. So there was rumors that some of that stuff was sold by him, so this kind of contradicts some of the information we got at the beginning. Continuing.
So then it's summer, so the boys, her boys end up going with their father for a couple weeks. So I have the girls, just me and the girls.
When did you take the boys to Dad?
They came back before the weekend before the 22nd, and they were gone gone for about 10 days, so maybe the 12th of August or so.
Okay, that's when they went to Dad's mom. Well, so a day or two after this happens. What did you do?
So at the time that this happened, what we were hearing was that there was a possibility that the kids were with their father, but we also heard that he had just gone to Paris and that he hadn't had much contact with the children. So obviously Michael and Richard Bowers met up at some point, and he did receive the children. He's saying around the 22nd of July probably, and they stayed there for a couple of weeks. So they're saying that they probably come back around probably August 10th or 12th. And we know that Nikki Jones also had the girls at one point, and on August 10th, supposedly those children went back with Michael after staying with her for almost a week, I think. It was one of the girls' birthday, and so Nikki Jones says that she was concerned. She would have been concerned if Michael wouldn't have come and got the baby, because CASIE would want to spend the birthday with the baby. So this kind of, according to Nikki Jones, she said that Michael Jones did come pick up the kids on August 10th.
Yeah, school's, approaching. Boys come back.
How do the boys end up back there? Obviously Dad would normally call, text. How would that happen?
It was previously with the drop off. It was determined what time, what day. Time frame was up in the air, so he texted, and I went and picked him up.
Okay. So he texted you or text her, or what's you guys' relationship like as far as with him?
We haven't talked much. Not really any relationship there.
Okay, so
it's really no communication. Yeah.
Okay, so just I got the boys. Where do you guys meet?
We met at the Lake Square Mall, Leesburg Mall.
Okay. Where does their dad live?
Here in Georgia somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. He did live in Florida for a while. He moved here a couple of years ago. Okay. And they've been going back and forth as far as custody goes, and when he can have him or if he can't, and he just kind of fell off the face of the earth and came back into the picture.
Really? So you get them back about the end of August?
Yeah. I know school's starting.
Are we talking about the beginning of August? Because I think school starts like August 12th or something like that, if I remember correctly. August 11th.
Yeah, school starts around then. It was like the 10th.
Okay. So they're with Dad for about a little less than a month, right?
Yeah. I think they were there for, like I said, 10 days or 2 weeks.
Okay. Does he text her phone? Does he text your phone? How does that work?
I believe at first he texted her phone.
Okay.
I think we communicated the second time through my phone.
Okay.
May have been through her phone.
And obviously at that point you got to keep up some sort of ruse that
right.
You're her, right?
Right.
Okay. So what happens then? You go and get the boys? You go out to Lake City and get the boys?
No. Met back up at the mall in Leesburg.
Okay.
His parents live somewhere in Florida.
Okay.
And then I think it's about a week.
Where are the girls at this time?
They were back with me at that point. I had dropped them off at my mother-in-law's.
Miss
around
Nikki?
this. Nikki, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think I had them back.
So this doesn't match the story at all with the boys because they're saying that, they thought that the boy had been killed the day after, but that's not the case, according to this anyway. So we really don't know exactly what happened still.
And then,
So you get the boys back from Dad, and school starts. School's going on for about a week.
Yeah.
What school do they go to?
I enrolled in Fruitland Park Elementary.
Okay. Because you worked at
I'll never go. Well, we lived in Leesburg.
Okay.
The last school year.
Okay.
And ended up we didn't want to put them in Leesburg. We should want to put them in Leesburg, so we ended up putting them in Fruitland Park.
Okay. Did you ever take them to school?
No, not this year.
So they were enrolled in Fruitland Park but never made it.
Right.
Okay. And then what happens with them?
So practically, Michael and CASIE pretty much raised those children. I keep wanting to call her the wrong name. I always have, so excuse it if I do say her name wrong. I'm always wanting to call her Cassie, but it's CASIE. Now remember, at the beginning of this, we knew nothing, and so we had to kind of dig to get anything that we had. We did know, like I mentioned, that Casey Jones' mom said she did have the girls for a period of time, but nobody really knew if the dad really had those boys because of the fact that he was not in their life for so long, and everybody around them knew that. But it almost seems to me when he's sitting there, he's feeling relieved to be able to finally come forward and tell everything that happened. He feels relieved. And that's kind of strange. Okay, a long pause and then it starts again.
Just cover that.
First, yeah.
And did she think much of it? Are you driving the van back and forth?
Yeah.
Driving Sarah's car?
So here it appears that they're talking about him driving the van to where Sarah Joan lives in Jacksonville. I'm not quite sure because they're blanking that out as well. So let me move it forward for you.
Do you go? Are you going to work still?
Yeah, I work. I work under the table for a guy right now.
Up in Jacksonville?
No, in the Villages.
So you're driving
Come down here. Yeah, work a couple of days. Yeah.
Are you driving the van back and forth?
Yeah.
Driving Sarah's car? Or?
No. Okay.
Obviously, I have to ask it. I got some pictures of the inside of the house from when the cleaning people showed up to clean everything up, and it looked like you were getting ready to pack up to move, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of our stuff was still packed up.
From moving there?
Yeah.
How long had you guys lived there?
I moved in April.
Okay. So April, May, June, and then July is when everything happened?
Yeah.
So just a couple months?
Yeah.
What's you guys' relationship like? I mean, is this an ongoing thing where you guys are at each other like this, like fighting, or?
It just got worse. Like, little things all the time with her. She would come at me, and we argue, and never really got physical. We had 13 people living with us in Leesburg.
Really?
Nikki, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and my sister-in-law's 6 kids, with our 4. And it was pretty tumultuous. It was rough. To where we had to call the police on Nikki, actually. She slapped her granddaughter across the face. Things got out of hand. But we were in the process of selling the house pretty much for 9 months or so. And the first bid that she got, first offer she got, we packed up, so stuff had been in totes for
Was that your house down there?
Oh, it was hers. No, I mean, I would keep the kids, and she would, go to work, and on the weekends, do Uber and stuff like that. And so there wasn't much conversation about it, here and there. But I would tell her that Casey and I are separated, and she's with her mom right now.
So you kind of just covered that first, yeah. And did she think much of it? Was she excited that you were back? Are you guys dating again? Or
No dating. She has a boyfriend of a couple of years, and he's up in Vermont. Nothing.
Okay, so you're just kind of crashing there and spending time with the kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
And well, I was there for the hurricane for that week. Just thought, hey, you should come and stay with us. And you're in a trailer, and I told her that the girls were with their mother. And, she said, well, come stay with us because they're freaked out. They just moved down here a few months ago. Okay. Nothing happened to the hurricane, obviously, but I still stayed there.
And her boyfriend was there at that time?
No. He's
okay.
He lives in Vermont.
So you got pretty much she's under the impression that Casey was staying with mom, and the kids are all healthy and everything's good.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Does Nikki and her sisters and everybody start calling? What's going on with the phone? I know she's got a phone, right?
Yeah, she had a phone, so I had her phone for a while, and I would text and pretend to be Casey. And
what's Casey's phone number?
352-360-8140.
Okay. And what do you know what provider that is?
Yeah, it's Sprint.
Okay. Yeah. What's your cell phone number? Or what was your cell phone number until recently?
352-530-9730.
And so you're pretending this whole time to be Casey obviously on Facebook too, because you got some like collages that you made or something on Facebook and posted them, and
also Sprint for yours.
Yeah, same. It's another same.
So then you're answering text messages back and forth, and
so
that's tough, man.
And I trashed her phone. I don't know what day it was, but I was actually down up by the city hall, looking down at the police department, which I believe is Marion County Police Department.
Okay.
I sat there for several hours with my daughters and turned myself in.
Now, I want to remind everybody that Nikki Jones did say that she lived with them for a while, but the problem was not her at all, but the fact that Michael Jones was mean to the oldest boy, which I don't remember which is which sometimes. I'm sorry with Cameron and Preston, but it was the older boy. She felt like he was abusive to him.
Smashed her phone in that day and threw it in the dumpster.
City Hall, I'm trying to think.
Is that
Maybe Bellevue?
Yeah, maybe
by the Checkers.
Yeah, Wells Fargo's over there or something.
Yeah, there's a Checkers and a Wells Fargo, and you kind of look down the hill at the police department. Okay. Did you throw it in the trash? Did you throw it in the bushes?
No, I threw it in a dumpster. It was adjacent from it was across the street from City Hall, across the road.
Across 441?
Yeah, it looked like an old gas station or something like that.
So I still can't get over the fact that he's able to sit there with no emotion whatsoever. His kids are gone. His wife is gone. But he's just sitting there. He's very calm, cool, and collective. So this should be a devastating experience, but he seems to be relieved.
What stops you from turning yourself in? Just this basic fear that, you're going to end up in the situation you're in right now?
Yeah.
Are you driving around in the van this whole time? I have to go back to,
Last I heard, Sarah Jones did not have a boyfriend. In fact, she had been single according to that interview that she wasn't dating or anything, so that doesn't make sense to me. So one time I heard it was Nevada, next time I heard it was Indiana, and then I heard she didn't have a boyfriend. So this is a little confusing. I don't know what to tell you guys on this one, but definitely there's a lie going on. Interesting when we do find out, right? And with what we see Mike doing as well, trying to deny there's a relationship trying to brew between Mike and Sarah. It just seems to me, no matter what comes out of this, Michael and Sarah Jones were hiding the fact that they were talking about getting back together. So this shouldn't be a problem unless somehow it's connected to the fact that they disappeared, wouldn't you think?
And do you drink?
I drink beer, yeah.
Drugs or anything?
No. I'm on medication, but...
You on medication right now?
Mm.
What type of medication are you on?
Blood pressure medication, and then I have medication for depression, Wellbutrin.
Okay. Is that affecting the way you're thinking or anything right now? You seem to be pretty level-headed.
Yeah, I don't
think you're...
Guys, I'm not making excuses for this guy, but it should be considered that Wellbutrin might have played a factor in this, because I have been doing research and a lot of people have experienced getting angry and aggravated and sensing they want to kill people or themselves. While taking this drug, they're afraid to tell their doctors how they feel. They don't want people to think of them in that way. Anyways, guys, as you can see, is a lot of these things, the story that we learned at the beginning has changed. These things do change as time goes forward, and that's what I try to stress to people, that most of us are not going to have 100% correct information until trial begins and we start seeing what the police see. I apologize that I messed up the first video, guys. I want to make sure I mention that this movie maker is pretty good, except for the fact layers are difficult to see. So I'm missing these audio that I'm putting in, and when I readjust this video, it messes the entire thing up and I totally miss it. Because I'm reaching my limit right now, we're going to have to do a part 2. So this is going to have to be considered part 1 of the interrogation tapes.
Leave out of your house.
Yeah.
Go south.
Right, go south. Probably 2 miles, maybe. It's before you
Past
hit
the
the hill.
Walmart.
Before Walmart.
Before the Walmart. Before 42?
Before 42, yes.
Before 42. Okay.
And is that, I mean, do you think it's still there? Or do you think they've had a trash pickup come since then?
I would assume they had it.
It's not been within the last week, obviously,
No.
because you ain't been here. So, okay. So you clean all that stuff up. And is there, can you share with us her, Casey's Facebook name?
Her Facebook name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Princess?
Yeah, it's in the Casey Princess.
What's her password for Facebook?
I do not know.
How did, so you just
She
logged
kept
out
it.
because it was on her phone?
Yeah, she kept it open.
So, where's your...
The deputy took it.
Is that the same phone? You still have the same phone from all that time? You just don't have any minutes on it?
Right,